Good morning. We are live. Hello, Kevin. Been a long
Hey,
time.
hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Naveen. Hey, Carolyn.
Hey, Miss Carla Ann. Hello. Good to see your face.
Carla Ann, you're muted.
I said, good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you. I was supposed to be there live, but I'm only just ready to walk out the door, so I'll be online with the flames.
Today's God Call with Reverend Bill. When you've had a really great meal, a big celebration, a feast, you feel so full, so sated, so completely satisfied that there's not room for anything else. That same feeling is available in other areas of our lives too. When you are feeling so loved and so connected, you can have that same feeling with satisfaction with the work that you're doing. You can have that same feeling in so many, many ways. How are you feeling completely filled today?
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So Holy Spirit, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, over mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. Holy Spirit, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Whenever I'm in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble now, come on, come on, come on. Stand by me. I want you and you and you and you and you. Come on, come on, come on.
Stand by. Stand by me. Oh. Huh. Good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. Good morning. You guys on Zoom? Hey. You guys here? Hey. We are hybrid from Falzer Club. Let me just accept that this is being live streamed. I'm working on my acceptance issues. See what I can do. So on Zoom, just, you know, the usual rules is remain muted except when we're sharing. You folks in the room, just make your comments low enough that the person you're commenting about doesn't hear it. You remember that slide? Let's begin with cacophony, though. Everybody on mute, on Zoom, you can unmute. Everybody here, repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself
to joy.
I open myself to the awareness of the good surrounding me.
I open
I open
myself
myself to the awareness of the good surrounding me.
And I know love is right here, right now.
And I know love is right here, right now.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, try those mute buttons one more time, you remote folks. As a reminder to everybody that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you through our door, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. Welcome home. We believe there's one, love, power, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our life according to our beliefs. As we like to say around here, your new life begins with a new thought. Yeah. If you have another electronic device with you, we certainly have plenty in the room. You can turn it on mute for the next hour or so we don't get interrupted. Same thing for the folks who are joining us from home. I'm Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today is by Dale Cottrell and her wife Cheyenne. Woohoo! And our practitioners are Breen Rourke, RSCP, and Carolyn Nixon, RSCP. And Carolyn is going to open us, the way we open everything, with a practical prayer.
Carolyn, muted.
Sorry. Try it again. Take two. I invite you all to join me in knowing that there is only one, this one which is all there is, this one which creates all there is. This one which is all knowing, all loving, all giving, and everywhere present. The said that its center is everywhere, its circumference is nowhere. And the Native American tradition present in the seven sacred directions, to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, above, below, and within, all one. I am that I am that which thou art. And this one, by whatever name we choose to call it, God, Godless, Mother, Father, God, Infinite Intelligence, Spirit. This one has been described as the peaceful mediator, the skilled negotiator, and the master strategist. And that one is fully present in all of the details of my human experience, in my relationships, in my finances, in the way I share my gift with the world. Because that one is present in all of those details, I know that all is in divine harmony and order, and I am completely free to be available, to be loved, to be supported, to be seen, to be heard, to be nourished, to be nurtured, to be uplifted through song, through meditation, through prayer, through ritual, through every spoken word. And I allow this one expressing itself as a celebration to flow through me, to fill me to overflowing, and I very lovingly release that energy that is flowing in me out into the universe to bless and prosper all life everywhere, because I know there is only one. And it's with deep gratitude that I release my word into that creative medium which creates all there is, knowing that it is now creating this good that I claim. I let it be, so be it, blessed be, and so it is.
Thank you, Carolyn. So the reason we do a prayer is because it works, because it actually changes the experience in life that we're having. I mean, it's nice to think that I owe God something, but it's not really true. We do prayers because they work. So if anybody has a story about a prayer that is working for them, go ahead and raise your hand. You can do that on Zoom. Joe, come on up.
Good morning. So I have been doing every night, last thing is do the metta meditation or loving kindness meditation. And I've been doing it towards my brothers because we're still dealing with loss of parents and stuff like that. So at any rate, communication's been kind of scant lately. And it worked. Stuff blew up with the estate settlement over the weekend, and they were communicative and supportive, and we talked about other things besides that. It was just wonderful. So there's only love between us. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. Love that story. Anybody else have a prayer work story? Come on up.
How are you, Bill?
It's been a little while.
I know, I didn't know you were here. I have 3 brothers who all yelled at me in 2023, and I decided for Downey Family Christmas I was going to forgive them all, and I put my heart and soul into this food, and it was a beautiful night.
I love when that happens. Thank you. And Jane, you get to stand up like you're a first-time visitor because it's been a decade when we get to that part.
What'd you say?
When we get to the part about welcoming first-time visitors, you get to stand
I
up
get to
because it's been a decade.
I am the first.
Anybody else? A prayer work story? Family stuff working. Yeah, I heard from my brother yesterday after a while, so that was nice. He bought a house. Thought he'd tell me. It's nice. Yeah. Let us have some announcements. If anybody has a kazoo, you may go ahead and play it now. If you forgot your kazoo, then...
Good morning. This frosty information is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. Our winter class is Living Untethered, based on the book by Michael Singer. Tuesday evenings beginning January 30th. It'll be hybrid at Exhale in Narberth and on Zoom. The registration is now open. We host 15-minute meditations on Zoom twice every day. If you haven't taken part lately, Zoom in this week. They're inspiring, fun, and quick. This week, some will also be on Insight Timer Live. Episode 134 of Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Creating Your Own Reality. Get it where you get your podcasts, and get a peek behind the scenes in the live recording session on Monday at 1 on New Thought Media Network. Follow, subscribe, like, and share our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube, and join the 1,695 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets on Zoom every Monday at 6:30. Everyone is welcome. And tomorrow we're having it at 6:30 p.m. Please come and join us. Reverend Bill is offering spiritual counseling and practical prayer packages that will help you step into the life of your dreams, or well visits to keep everything moving smoothly. We are grateful for your tax-deductible donations by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. To join in, you can contact me, and I'd be happy to sign you up. Next Sunday is online with The Power of Love. During a challenging conversation, guest speaker Edie Weinstein received the words, Let the people who love you love you. She shares insights on how love can work wonders when we let it in. Live original music by Luke Shefsky. Cool. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Carolyn is available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer, and we'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Yay. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, thank you. So, is there anybody who's joining us for the second time today? I think that might be Nia. And Emma. Okay, we have a special gift for you. So make sure that you get your combination pen and flashlight inscribed with New Thought Philadelphia so that you can be the light and also write down your new reality. And the rest of us are going to bless you. So you just receive, the rest of us are going to warm our hands up and know that you are the bright light of God's love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your love and shining your light with us today, and welcome home. And for first-time visitors, if we don't have your contact information, we invite you to sign up either for the e-newsletter, or if you're in person, we have a contact card. I am not seeing, I think, anybody new online. So, is Kevin still here? Anyway, if you haven't been to New Thought Philadelphia in more than 5 years, go ahead and stand up. Oh, look, it's Jane. Welcome back.
You know, I've been looking for a power baby. I had one, and it disbanded, so
Yep.
I was guided to find you.
Sandy's
Yeah.
here. The rest of us right now, you can remain standing. You're receiving a blessing. The rest of us are going to do that same thing again. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for shining that light and sharing that love with us today. A blessing. Thank you, thank you. So now we're going to do a greeting song. And it's a Ricky Byers song that Dale is going to sing. And while we do that, the folks on Zoom, go ahead and make eye contact with each other so that you can connect with the people we're in community with. And the folks in the room, we're going to greet each other.
Good old-fashioned gospel. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Hey, hey, my God is so good to me. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah, it's so good. Praise God, feeling good in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah. God is so good. Hey, hey, my God is so good to me. Said in my time of trouble, praise God. God is so good. Hey, hey, in my time of trouble, praise God. God is so good. Said in my time of trouble, praise God, God is so good. Hey, 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 my God is so good to me. In my time of triumph, and I know God is so good. In my time of triumph, I know God is so good. I said now, in my time of triumph, I know God is so good. Hey, 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 my God is so good to me. I said, when the day is over, I'm singing, God is so good. When the day is over, I'm singing, God is so good. I said, when my day is over, I'm singing, God is so good. Hey, 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 my God is so good to me. Every day, in every way, God is so good. I said now, every day, in every way, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. I said, when I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. I said, now my God is so good to me. Every day, in every way, God is so good. I said now, every day, And everywhere, everybody, God is so good. Hey, hey, hey. And when I take the time to praise the Spirit, when I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. I said, when I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. And now my God is so good to me. What do we do, go? I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Say, praise God. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I said, now I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Hey, hey, hey. My God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me. My God is so good to me. My God is so good to me. My God is so good to me.
Boom. Thank you. Ah. So we have a slight alteration to the Flames of Faith, which is a new change because, as you will recall at the solstice, we ran into a bunch of druids and asked their opinion about the second flame, so we made an adjustment. So the Flames of Faith are going to be lit by Breen and read by Jane.
Okay, good morning. Let's see. Are you ready, Breen? Breen's ready. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today is from the book New Thoughts for Today, which is published by the affiliated New Thought Network with a different author on each day, and that's going to be read by Sarah.
Good morning, everyone. The title of this piece is Because I Said I Would, and it starts with a quote from Don Miguel Ruiz from the Four Agreements. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. Through the word, you express your creative power. It is through your word that you manifest everything. The organization, Because I Said I Would, is a social movement, nonprofit organization dedicated to the betterment of humanity through promises made and kept. Founder Alex Sheen created the organization to honor his father, who was a man of his word. The organization works with high school and college communities, corrections departments, recovery groups, and other adult organizations. Participants are given promise cards to remind them of their commitments to get and stay clean and sober, to finish school, etc., etc. I'm rather good about doing what I say I'm going to do for others. I show up when I'm supposed to and do what I agree to do for other people. But how are my commitments to myself? I use the calendar on my smartphone extensively. It's pretty easy to input a task for tomorrow, and just as easy to change it to the day after, the next week. Then, very often, the task has to do with some shoulds that might be in the best interests, but that I don't really want to do. So often, I have wonderful reasons, i.e., excuses, why I don't do what I said I was going to do. Instead, as I honor my commitments to others, I can do the same for myself, because I said I would. Today, I honor my commitments to myself and others, or I make new ones.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Rivers running free, you know how I feel. Blossom in the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, you know that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me, and I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I said I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Said I'm feeling good.
Thank you, thank you. You ever get yourself into a conversation where somebody says something and you say, really? And then they say something different. And you say, well, that's not what you said. They say, well, that's what I meant. I was having a conversation. Actually, I was putting some pain reliever cream on Dina's back. And I said, turn to the left. And she turned to the right. And I said, other left. And she said, that is my left. I said, no, don't turn your left shoulder toward the front. That's turning right. That's what I meant. Let me get to the other side of your back there. And it happens in so many different circumstances where we're not really clear about what it is that we're talking about. You've all had that experience. And sometimes it's somebody's telling you a story. Well, I was talking to Susie and to Joanne and Annie, and she said that she's leaving her job. Well, you just gave me 3 people, and you generically said somebody is leaving her job, but so I have a little bit of information. I've narrowed it down from 7 billion to 3 of the people who might be leaving their job, but I don't actually know. So at Anton, the affiliated New Thought Network, the president, Jerry Troyer, when he first took the helm, made the claim that we're going to say what we mean and mean what we say. And it was refreshing because a lot of times in the board meetings and the activities, somebody will say something and then somebody else will say, what did you mean? Because there would be 2 or 3 or a dozen possible meanings. And one of the examples is we're going through and making the rules about who's authorized to spend money. Because there are several people who have the organization credit card. And being the administrator, I'm one of them. And so the board decided that the executive director and the treasurer would be able to spend money that's been budgeted, and everybody else would have to have a board vote. And I said, whoa, wait a second. We just did a postal mailing for the end of the year, and that would have required 3 board votes, because we bought the cards, and we bought the envelopes, and then we bought the postage. So let's add me to that list. And I go, oh, that's what we meant, yeah. Good idea. And it turns out to be easier that way. So it's obvious that we want to say what we mean and mean what we say, and it's not necessarily easy. It is not easy to do that. There are a couple of different ways to phrase that. One is intention versus impact. So when I say something, I know what I mean, and if the person who's hearing it hears something other than what I meant, they can react to what they heard rather than to what I was trying to say. That's the impact versus the intention. And there are all sorts of examples. I'll give you one that I heard about when I was, I think, in college. This young man, Jeremy, and for reasons that we don't need to go into, he had a wooden eye. And Jeremy was very self-conscious about his wooden eye, thinking that people would judge him or mock him or laugh at him or otherwise put him down. So he became withdrawn and he was reclusive, and that was the life that he was living. And finally he got to the point where he didn't like that anymore. He didn't like being as withdrawn as he was, so he decided he was going to go to the dance. So he went to the dance feeling very self-conscious, and he's kind of, back against the wall, watching the other people who are there, and he notices a young woman who's there, who's also a wallflower, and she has a very pronounced tilt to her shoulder. And he says, I'll give it a try. So he goes over to her and very self-consciously says, would you like to dance? And she says, would I? And he says, would I? Would I? Who are you talking to, you hunchback? Whoops. That's not what I meant. Obviously, the intention was different than the impact. For those of you at home, Breen Rourke is losing it. So the intention is what we said and what we wanted to mean. That's what I meant. And the other part of it is, how did it land? And we have all had that experience of saying something and going, whoops, that didn't land the way that I wanted it to. And the reason is because we are not necessarily listening with brand new, fresh ears to everything that's being said and going through an analytical process of everything that's going on. What we're doing is we're recognizing things. And in fact, if something has happened in our past, we're bringing all of that education or trauma to the situation and responding to that. So there's a layer of abstraction where there's things that are going on and we are interpreting the things that are going on. We have a filter. We have a personal framework. A perfect example is, what color is orange? Now, when I say orange, everybody here gets an idea of the color orange. We all know what orange is. The fact of the matter is, though, it's an abstraction. The way that we get to what is the color orange is that I hold up an orange or a tangerine and I say, this is orange. And you go, okay, and then we have an agreement. The fact of the matter is, the way that the orange is showing up in your consciousness, in your awareness, in your brain, might be completely different than the way it's showing up in mine. The fact of the matter is, we have 3 different sorts of cones or color detectors in our eyes. One is sensitive to red, one is sensitive to green, one is sensitive to blue. There aren't any that are sensitive to orange. So what happens is, light strikes the tangerine and reflects back into our retina, and there's some light that stimulates the red cones, which are 700 nanometers, and some the green, which is 550 nanometers, and some the blue, which is 450 nanometers. And our brain and our eye interpolate to see the 600 nanometer orange light. We actually can't detect orange light. We don't necessarily know what orange light looks like to somebody else. So is what I'm seeing the same thing that you're seeing? Well, we have an agreement that when I hold you up a tangerine, we say, yeah, that's orange. And it doesn't matter what we internally process that to mean. That was the agreement that we had. So we're interpreting our environment all the time. We're always interpreting our environment. And it would be nice to think that we are completely dispassionate and impartial judges of what's going on in the environment around us. But we're not. Sadly, we are not. Our minds are always interpreting what's going on in the world around us. And we are always comparing that to the things that we have learned before, the things that we have experienced before. And there's a tendency that we have, and this is not a new idea, that when we experience something and it's too much for us to process at the time, our mind stores it. It saves it for later. It says, okay, I don't have the time, the resource, the bandwidth, the willingness to deal with this now, so I'm gonna keep it for later on. And lately, those things have been called things like trauma. So we take those and we bury those down inside, and then we supposedly are going to work through them later. But as we heard in the reading, sometimes we don't get around to it. Sometimes the to-do list unfolds and unfolds and unfolds, and yes, I have items that have been on my to-do list for more than 3 years. Real soon now. Going to get to that any minute now. And I roll them over every day. So some of those stored things we deal with, some of them we don't deal with, and every once in a while somebody says, would you like to dance? And it triggers something that we already had a trauma about, and we react not to what they said, but to our old trauma. Game on. Now, and when that happens in front of us, if I say something completely innocent as far as I'm concerned, and it triggers somebody, uh-oh, I have inadvertently pulled the pin out of somebody else's hand grenade. So what do I do about that? Well, there's usually a couple of things we can do. We can defend ourselves. Well, that's not what I meant. That wasn't my intention. And unfortunately, for somebody who's just had their the pin pulled out of their hand grenade, that doesn't help that much. The best thing that we can do is acknowledge, oh, I pulled the pin out of your hand grenade. I really didn't mean to do that. Can I try it again? Let me phrase that differently. Is dancing with me something that you'd agree to? Yes. And it doesn't get to the trauma. one of the wonderful things about being in a spiritual community is when we're interacting with each other and somebody says or does something that triggers us, that gets us going, that pushes our button, that gets through our filter, we can say that that's what happened. Hey, when you said that, I felt this. Not you made me feel this way. Nobody has any control over my feelings. I control my own feelings, even though when I'm dealing with the old trauma, I'm way out of control. But as long as I can recognize, hey, that's what you said, what you did is not okay with me, then the person who did it has the opportunity to say, oh, let me ask for a mulligan on that one. It's a golfing term. Take the stroke again, okay? Because the first time you hit it, it went either nowhere or into the woods or into the pond. And it's like, let's do it over. And when we are in a loving and uplifting and supportive space, as often as not, the person who we're involved with is going to let us try a do-over. And we don't forget what happened. But being mature people, we can understand, oh, this was mine. This was my trigger. This was my button. This was my hand grenade. And it was whatever this thing was that made that all happen. Interestingly, this is not new. There is a term, which is samskara, which is from ancient Indian philosophy. And it's interesting it's ancient Indian because it shows up in Hinduism and in Buddhism. So this was Indian philosophy before Hinduism and Buddhism. A samskara is exactly that. It is a buried thought or piece of historical energy, an instruction or a command that we react to. Something happens, it creates a samskara in us, and then when something else happens, we respond to what happened and to our own samskara. This is not something new. This is something that has been going on for a long time, and there are techniques for dealing with that. And one of the reasons that I bring that up is because it's really important to be clear about who we're in community with and to allow ourselves to be supportive and supported. And also because a large part of Living Untethered, which is the class that we're starting at the end of the month, towards the end of the book is talking about samskaras. How can we go through life when we're being controlled by things that happened when we were a teenager or a baby or last week or when we didn't understand which of the three people was leaving their job? So we get to deal with what is ours, and then we could be much more clear about dealing with the input that's coming from the world around us. There's something else that's coming up. Thought Leader Thursday, which is another Anton event, is the last Thursday of the month, and I think it's the 25th of January. Rick Moss, who's an old friend, is going to be doing the session. And I first heard about this stuff from him. He says that those poison memories that we have when people said something and we hit them, he says it's like bubble wrap. So he has processes where you can pop the bubble in your bubble wrap. And oh, by the way, if you've ever popped bubble wrap, there's always more bubbles. But what happens is every time you do it, it releases some of that and makes the way clear a little bit more for clarity and for living and being and experiencing life the way that we want it to. Because we can. We are always free to choose. That's the really wonderful thing about the New Thought philosophy, is all this stuff has happened to me. And it absolutely did, and I completely give it credit and credence for everything that happened. That has been my life up until now. And principle is not bound by precedent. The next thing that happens in my life doesn't have to be based on everything that happened previously. I can step into something brand new. I can have a transformative experience. Has anybody here ever had a transformative experience where things have been going along one way and then suddenly, boom, it's different?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about COVID?
Yeah, COVID was, nobody planned on COVID. Although it's interesting, with COVID, there are some good things that have come out of COVID so far. Really? Good things have come out of COVID? Much less in the way of business travel. Much more acceptable when somebody has a runny nose and is throwing up, that they don't push through and go to work anyway. Okay, there's very little of that now. Or let me say, there's much less of that now. So there's some good things that have happened. It used to be possible to do remote meetings on Zoom and save the time of commuting and waiting around for everybody to get into the meeting. And now it's much more commonplace. We have the technology we did before, and now it's even easier to make that happen. So I used to spend a lot of time commuting For a while, I was working in New Jersey and living in Pennsylvania. It was 45 minutes to an hour each way. That's a lot of time. I don't know what I'm doing with the time now, because there's still stuff on my to-do list that's been there for 3 years. But there are changes. There are changes that happen. There are changes that happen internally to us as we realize, yeah, I've been doing this thing for a while, and that's not who I want to be. So who do I want to be instead? How do I want to engage in the world instead? What do I really mean? What do I mean about the life that I want to live? Because if I say that I want to be open and loving and gentle and supportive, and instead, whenever I'm interacting with somebody, I'm harsh and judgmental and critical and pushy, they're going to act like I'm harsh and judgmental and pushy. If I want to be seen in a different way, I get to engage in a different way. And the great thing is that we are free to. We are free to. We all get a mulligan. Every breath, every moment, there's an opportunity to start doing something new. So the question then becomes, what did you mean? What did you want? What is going to be happening next? And do I want to dance? Dance with joy and glee. Invite something new and wonderful into your life, because you deserve it. And so it is.
My destiny has been fulfilled by you, oh God, and my search is over, and I rest in Thee. Every path has led to this moment. Every step I have taken has led me to this higher place. Everything I've ever done has led me to see God's holy face. And my destiny has been fulfilled by you, God. And my search is over, and I rest in Thee. Past lives, they make no difference. Future lives, they don't concern me. My future and my past are rolled into this moment. In God is eternal. My life in God is eternal. And I am free forevermore. And my search is over, and I rest in Thee. I rest in Thee. I rest in Thee. Ooh, something in me knew this all along. And my life is a melody of God's freedom song. And I know this song is sung by the heavenly host. I rest in Thee. I rest in Thee. Something in me knew this all along. And my life is a melody God's freedom song, and I know this song is sung by the heavenly host. I rest in thee. I rest in thee. My destiny has been fulfilled by you, fulfilled by you, oh God. And my search is over, and I rest in thee. I rest in thee. I rest in thee. Something in me knew this all along, and my life would be God's freedom song. This song is sung by the heavenly host. I rest in thee. I'll rest in thee. I'll rest in thee. I'll rest in thee. My search is over, and I rest in thee.
Thank you. That's beautiful. This is my privilege now to lead us in a bit of meditation. When Bill asked me if I wanted to do the meditation, I said, would I? I love a good pun. Love it. I was thinking about something a teacher of mine said many years ago. We're talking this idea of what people say and what they mean and what we hear. And he had this a line. He used to have these one-liners. We called them cheap tricks that you could kind of take with you. Listen to what I said, not what you heard. Because so often we listen to what we heard someone say, not what they actually said. And that can be very powerful, because when I find myself reacting, I think, wait a minute, what did they actually say? I heard something that I didn't like, but that's not really what they said. This little cheap trick you can take with you. So now I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are, get settled in. If you're able to sit down with your back straight, shoulders back, and just relax. Maybe your feet flat on the floor, your hands in your lap, palms up, and just breathe and relax. We're going to take a series of 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in fully, we're going to hold for a moment, and we're going to exhale. And with each exhale, feel yourself relax even more. We're going to breathe in deeply, hold, and exhale. Feel yourself relax. Feel that tension start to wash away. Again, breathe in fully. Hold. And exhale. And feel yourself relax even more. Okay, last one. Breathe in deeply and fully. Breathing in. Hold. Hold just a skosh longer. And And exhale. And feel that release. And just settle down into that. Allow your breathing to find a gentle, even pace, whatever's comfortable for you. And we take this opportunity to go within. Within the clarity of spirit. Sometimes we're not always sure what we want or what we think we mean when we say something. But spirit is always clear. We can always go within and open ourselves to that clarity. I am open to the clarity of spirit. Perhaps there's something in your life that is challenging you, some question that you have, some uncertainty. And just take that within and be open to the clarity of spirit. As we go into the silence, just take that mantra with you. I am open to the clarity of spirit. If you find your mind wandering, gently and lovingly center yourself with that thought. I am open to the clarity of spirit.
My word is powerful. My word is more than what I speak. My word is my perceptions, my beliefs, my feelings, my intentions, my action. My word is my magic. My word is that which I use to create my experience, to create my world. And I know that this creative medium, in this one, whichever name we may call it, is always creating, and it creates free of any judgment. It just creates whatever is impressed upon it. So it is up to me when there is any seeming confusion, lack of clarity, to go within, to go to spirit, to seek clarity. And I choose to be impeccable with my word. Whatever it is that I desire to see more peace, harmony, wholeness, abundance, whatever it may be, I align my thoughts, my beliefs, my action, my intention with what I desire to see. And in so doing, this law works on my behalf. And automatically, just as it does with anything else, it outpictures that which I desire to see, that clarity. And I say what I mean what I say in all of my relationships. In creating my experience. And for this awareness, I am grateful. And I release my word into that creative medium, which creates all there is, knowing it is creating this right here and right now. I let it be so. So be it. Blessed be. And so it is. I invite you now to take in a deep breath and release it when you're ready, and when you do, return your attention to our celebration for another song.
I want you to put your hands together. This is a song that we wrote, but mostly it was my wife, Cheyenne, that wrote this. It's called Love Turn Me Around. We hope it does that for you. Love, oh love, turn me around. I used to think that I was invincible. No guy, no dude, no man could turn me around. Till your love prove me wrong. Oh, so strong. But love, oh love, turn me around. Love, oh love, turn me around. Me, my family, put the D in dysfunctional. Love my mother, never knew my father to teach me the rules. Till your love came along, oh so strong. But love, oh love, turn me around. Love, oh love, turn me around. Your love had me coming back for more. turn me around. All right, love. Oh, love, turn me around. You at home, everybody. Love, oh, love, turn me around. All around the world. Love, oh, love, turn me around. Love, oh, love, turn me around. Thank you.
Cheyenne, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So we like to offer up some ideas and some new possibilities and some new ways of thinking, and then we give you an opportunity to give voice to those. Would you like to share something? Sarah, go ahead.
Well, oh, Alexa's telling me it's lunchtime and I should drink water. Sorry. I have to say that the what you say versus what lands, and I mean, it's always good to hear it again. And then you also were talking about the mulligans and being able to do it over again. And I made a new friend and we hung out for the first time over the weekend. And we were having a conversation and she was talking about how she doesn't love to drive and that she can do it while she's by herself. But then as soon as another person gets in the car with her, it's different. And so I asked her oh, is it because you now have this precious cargo and, you have this new responsibility of caring for another person, or is it, that your every move is now being watched and judged right away? And she was like, well, both. And I very quickly, jovially and jokingly said, oh, cool. So a depression and anxiety, from both directions. And what meant to be a very lighthearted but real statement, one of those laugh or cry moments, and I was trying to make light of it. She immediately was whole persona, whole everything shifted and changed, and I felt her prickle, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And I feel how many times if people don't show on their face or don't let you know how your words affected them, we're blessed when we do have the comfort of connection to say hey, that landed wrong. And how often do we communicate with people that don't feel comfortable or confident enough to even express how you've impacted them. And so between those two things of remembering that what you say and what you mean are not always what people are going to hear. And so being careful and cautious to, be impeccable with your word and try to say things in a nice way, but also having that peace in yourself to know that, you have another moment to make it right. So it's be cautious and be careful. Don't be fake, still be real, and know that if you're being real and something rubs someone the wrong way, that through clear communication and open dialogue, you can have a mulligan and get that grace and try again. So for me, today was awesome. I needed to hear it again. So I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. And always a reminder for me that when somebody pushes my buttons, they're pushing my buttons, but they're my buttons. Jane, come on up.
I just want to say I like that saying, meet them.
No, come over here, because there's people at home who are just hearing this disembodied voice.
Well, I like that new thought saying of me. I'm really struggling with somebody right now, and the flip is to meet them at the consciousness where they're at, and not where you think they are. And if I can sort of get to a place of almost feeling sorry for them, that maybe I can get those buttons removed. In fact, I read something about narcissists that said it's almost like a safe word in the opposite, that it pushes that button so hard, so fast, that you have to start preparing yourself to expect it to come, right? Because it's our expectations that leave us disappointed. So that's my 2 cents.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Yeah. Carolyn.
Well, for this whole service, it's like point well taken. And I have something to share with Green. When I was getting ready for the service today, the celebration today, I wasn't sure if I'd be practitioner or do the meditation. And this is the one mind working. I selected the exact same reading that you did for today. One mind.
When that happens. I love when that happens. Sandy, come on up and lead us in the offering.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We have a basket in the room and a donate button on the website to make a donation by Zelle, Cash App, credit card, PayPal, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. We're grateful for every way that you share. The offering affirmation's on the screen, and we'll say it together. Please unmute yourselves. I live in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good. I am a center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life. My gift, I share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know that as I give, I do receive, and so it is. So it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. One more song.
All right. Again, you're welcome to get up and move and sing along. That train is moving. Down around the corner, half a mile from here, you see them long trains run, and you watch them disappear. Without love, where would you be now? Without love, you know I saw Miss Lucy down along the track. She lost her home and her family, and she won't be coming back. Without love, where would you be right now? Without love, well, the Illinois Central and the Southern Central Freight, you gotta keep on pushing my mouth. You know they're running late. Without love, where would you be right now? Without love, and the Southern Central Freight, you just keep on pushing my mug, cause you know they're running late. Without love, where would you be right now? Without love, well, the pistons keep on turning and the wheels go round and round. The steel rails are calling hard when the malls that they go down. Without love, would you be right now? Without love, ooh, where would you be now? Got to get you, baby, baby, won't you move it down? Move it down. Won't you move it down? Keep on moving. Baby, 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 won't you move it down? Just keep on moving. Won't you move it down? Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Say, keep on moving. You gotta keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Where would you be now? Let us close with a cacophony. Those of you who are on Zoom can go ahead and unmute. Those of you who are in the room, you can make a circle, because we can. Because we can. Because we can, yeah. And I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. Repeat after me. Would I be open to love?
Would I be open to love?
Would I be open to joy?
Would I be open to joy?
Would I let my light shine?
Would I
let the love flow?
Would I let the love flow?
Would I? Would I? Yes! So it is.